Mr. Lorenzo, thank you for being here, man. Finally, I think this has been back and forth a few times, huh?
A few times. So apologize in advance because, man, I've been telling you that I was coming for, I don't know, the last 6 months.
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah. I think it started at the Tom Cruise event.
Yes.
That Kai did.
Totally
and
right.
then we did that whole little thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but you've been traveling.
I've been traveling a little bit, man, trying to catch up after the pandemic. It's getting back to normal, and I'm trying to grab anything that it's throwing on my way. So,
how this is random, but you brought up the pandemic. How did the pandemic? I mean, we all went through it, but you obviously have ties to Europe. You have ties to Spain. How fucking crazy was it? Like, what was the craziest thing that you experienced to remember? Because it was wild.
It's like a bad dream, man. I don't know. I'm trying to look at it in a good way, a very optimistic way, but they still 2 years from you. I'm saying they, but...
Yeah. Yeah, but they usually everybody's like,
I don't know who they
everybody
are.
Says that, but this, you're right. This is they.
But it's somebody stole 2 years from me, man. And I mean, I'm one of the lucky ones that I, keep working and doing my own thing and that. But
you stayed active.
Yeah, but if you think on all the people that lost jobs and houses and
life. The reason I'm asking you about that is because I remember hearing about que agarraron los centros comerciales y estaban poniendo bodies there because they didn't know what to do. Like it was, I don't know if it was just in Spain. I heard it because my mom looks,
No, everywhere.
But it was everywhere.
Everywhere. So I just moved, but I live in Marina through the pandemic, and close by one of the routes we took when we go on the bikes with VVMC, and we took Lincoln before taking the PCH.
Yeah.
All that area all of a sudden was like packed with people living on the streets and cars. And,
it was, the homeless.
And it's like, and then all of a sudden Venice was, the tourism Mecca.
I think it's called
packed.
I think it's called typhus. They saw typhus again, and this is something that was like in Ireland that took out. It was a plague.
Yeah.
And they found typhus in those homeless encampments.
But that also helped me to look at how close of being homeless people are. You live in check by check, day by day.
100%.
And all of a sudden, one thing like this happened, and you're fucked, man. So I'm looking at it in a way. Again, in a positive way, but you're
learning from it. You're learning from it. You're studying it like, this is...
Well, I am one of those that took the time to think, okay, I need to redirect what I'm going to do with my time and life and work-wise. And life is super fucking short. And
it's delicate.
But we keep seeing the carpe diem thing, right? But spoiler alert. We're going to die.
Yeah.
So better take advantage of, day by day and have fun and go and visit friends and family and enjoy as much as we can, because this shit could happen anytime at any moment.
A few fun facts that I've mentioned some of them, but they're just so fucking interesting. It's like 85% of Americans are 2 paychecks away from being homeless, which we just saw it. We just saw it.
Well, let's change the subject because we're going super dark.
But it's a reality.
It's a reality.
And then the other one I'm going to bring up kind of happy, but
85%. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's up there. Are 2 paychecks away from being homeless. And the crazy part is that you think about, it doesn't matter if you make $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $100,000 a month, or $1 million a month. Because your bills and everything are about the same. And if you don't get that money, it's the same consequences. Your credit gets fucked. Your house gets taken. The consequence, if it gets to that pushing point, is the fucking same.
That's why.
Y el tipo que gana $500 and he has a piece of shit car, he gets one more ticket and they tow away his car. That's his home. That's his life. That's his job. That's it. That's his whole world. Y lo mismo con esta gente que gana super,
Porque construimos nuestra vida alrededor de lo que ganamos.
Claro.
Y compramos cosas que no nos hacen falta, ¿verdad?
En los Estados Unidos especialmente, 100%, yeah.
Y we're like, it's our own fault, to be honest.
No, of course, 100%. It's well, that's where you have to give the marketing companies so much credit, because the marketing companies. Let me pull this up a little bit more. There you go. The marketing companies, their job is to make a product look cool, and for the exchange of your cash, they get like it's so simple, but we fall for it. Bro, te digo una cosa más en este tema. Esta Navidad, I hate saying this, bro. It sounds so bad. It sounds so bad, but I'm going to say it. Los regalos que le dieron a mi hijo, the presents people gave to my kid, I was like, fuck, man, I would rather have no gifts.
Yeah.
Because the packaging looks cool and nice, but as soon as it's opened, it's like 2 seconds and it's like,
that's it.
It's garbage. And then now I'm convincing my son of like, let's not open that. You don't even want that. No, but I want to open el proceso.
Uh-huh.
Pero like there was one that was like a shiny egg, and you open it and it has sand, and it has slime, and it has all this stuff in there. And by the time you open it, vi un reguero de plástico, arena, sticky shit, dinosaurs. I was like, basura. Like that's it. It was like $25 right there.
Yep.
Garbage. And it's just dumb. Anyway, sorry. That's we'll leave that the consumerism. We'll leave that at that. But did you try? Your travel was restricted. You just stayed in LA the whole time?
Yes. I think I did. At the very beginning, when it was like, we don't know what happened, I had a trip down to Miami. It was the NAPTE, which is the market for buying and selling shows.
Yeah.
And no one knew what's going on. So we did it anyway, which, by the way, they just declared Chapter 11. So it's a huge festival. NAPTE is it's where all the big distribution companies and production companies and content creators go to sell or buy content, right? And it's one in Cannes, the other one is Miami, and the third is Cancun. And this year's was supposed to be on the 20th January. So anyway, my trip was back then.
Yeah.
And then I think that was it.
Miami, we had no lockdown, right?
Well, no, Miami, it's...
Miami's a different country.
Territorio Comanche.
Yeah. Y iban a cerrar ahí. Like.
No, de hecho, creo que bajé otra vez más en medio de la pandemia. No me acuerdo para qué, pero algo parecido también por trabajo. Pero como si no pasara nada. Totalmente, todo el mundo fuera bailando, comiendo. Me acuerdo que fui a un sitio cubano a comer.
¿Un sitio cubano en Miami? No.
Ajá, exacto. Súper raro, súper extraño. Y todo el mundo bailando de fiesta, como si no pasara nada. Es como estar en un universo paralelo. Pero te voy a decir que eso siempre me pasa cada vez que voy a Miami. Es como vivir en una realidad alternativa. Because they live in their own...
Claro. No, para mí Miami es 3-4 días máximo.
Yo también.
3 días máximo.
La ciudad de mármol, le llamo yo. Porque solo hay mar y mall.
Sí. Está bueno.
Pero, and I used to go at least once a month because of work and, to recoup with the production company and everything. And
hold on. Let's talk. What do you do? Because you travel a lot.
I travel a lot.
What do you do?
I create content. I work in front of the camera as a host, a comedian, but I also create TV shows and write shows for TV. And, if I'm not working for a show, I'm working for a production company that is developing or in need of a show. So that's what I do.
How'd you get into that? Because that sounds complex.
Man.
I mean, in front of camera is I get that. You've got your charm, good-looking guy. You're funny, but how do you get into the production and selling shows and content? And
one thing led to another. Long story short is when you're in front of the camera, you are the one defending the content, right? Whatever it is. And then you start like adjusting to your own style. And then I don't want to say this, or I think I would be more comfortable saying it this way. And then you start negotiating with the writers, and then you start writing your own stuff. And then all of a sudden, I have this idea. And people is like, okay, put it on paper. Don't tell me I have an idea. Just do it. And then one thing led to another, and boom. But it's not that easy. I mean,
Of course, it's not that easy. You got to have a starting point.
Yes.
I mean, how did you get into television? And like, is this something that your parents got you into, or is this something?
No one in my family. I am from a very small place, shitty. Now it's beautiful and everything, but back in the day, it was just heroin and shootings and terrorism, and no one in my family. It's related with entertainment.
And
so I just in Basque Country. And ETA is a terrorist group that they start killing and in the name of independence with Spaniards.
They start killing, in the
right?
name of
They start killing on the under the Franco dictatorship back in 1959, and then it was okay. People were supporting that, but they stopped the whole thing on 2011.
Yeah.
And more than 3,000 people there. So for me, growing up on shooting and kidnapping and cocktail, it's
in war,
super normal. And the only thing that I knew, it's like I just need to get out. I just need to get out. And I did that. It's like I don't want to be here. And music and television was something that I always dream of doing it. And somehow I founded a error en el sistema and I get into it. And that's how it happened. But it takes time and patience, and you really want to do it. It's not easy. And you hear no more than yes. Everyone is like, no, that's not possible, or no, even actors audition it. No, everyone wants to do it. So
do you have to find money too, or that's usually producers?
No, I mean, that's another part of the business. I never went into that. If you're producing, you have to find the finance for that, but I'm not good. I'm not a sales guy. Yeah. And I always find someone who it's the money guy and they do that part. Also, I don't want to be in that part. I tried. I was telling you before that. Like at some point, I was so busy that someone offered me, dude, people at this point are coming to you with ideas. Take advantage of that. You have relationship with the network, with advertisers. Sounds like a match. Like we could produce and keep more money. And then all of a sudden, I end up all suit up, going to meetings of production meetings, advertising, marketing. It's like, I don't care. This is not me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in that part of the table, because also you see how the magic is done.
Yeah.
And then it's like no more magic. It's like, oh, no, this is a machine of making money.
Yeah.
So we see, when we're like, as a audience, we see the beauty of the final product. But for that
process,
so many things has to happen, politics and shit, that it's like, no.
Do you focus only in the Spanish industry?
No,
or you do Spanish and English?
Yeah, I do both.
Do you see this industry's always fascinated me, and I'm sure it fascinates everybody that likes movies, which is everybody. But do you see a shift in the American market versus how it was 10 years ago to what it is now? And do you see, like, for me personally, I'd be like, oh, the American market, like I watch a Hollywood movie now and I'm like, this ain't the Hollywood actors I remember, like 10, 20 years ago. You used to see Arnold. You were like, that's a Hollywood actor. Now I'm like, I saw a movie with George Clooney and Julia Roberts. And I was like, that's cool. They're like normal people. They live in the neighborhood. And
I think it's a combination of social media make us think that they're super close to us, that we know those people because we follow them on a daily basis.
That's a good point.
It's like, oh, I know him. It's like, no, you don't.
He sold his tequila brand, yeah.
Yes, and looks like we know everything about them.
Yeah.
Again,
espresso.
Yes, we see that they have this business. We see how they post their daily life, like exercising or whatever they're doing, right? And we follow them, and we get to believe that we know him. Like they're super friends of us, and they're not. And you see the social media people texting like, oh, I saw him doing this, or he, like, you don't know this guy. Like on soccer, right now, the World Cup, it was these two guys, Messi and Ronaldo. And everyone hates Ronaldo, and everyone loves Messi, or the opposite, whatever you support the team. It's like,
wherever you stand.
you don't fucking know these guys. Why do you hate Ronaldo? Oh, he's super arrogant. Like, how do you know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't know the guy. You just see a guy competing, like playing soccer, and he wants to win the same way the other guy or whoever. So I think with Hollywood, it's kind of the same thing. Like, it looks like they're closer. Back in the day, we didn't know anything about, I don't know, Groucho Marx, to give you something super old. We just saw the glamour thing of
the glamour. That's the word, glamour.
Because we didn't know anything. Those guys were like secret for us. They had a secret life. They live somewhere in Hollywood. They have their own parties. Now we see where they party, what they drink. Yeah. So there is no secret, right? It's like we're like humans. Like, you know this girl, you like her, and it's like something about her that you like. And then you see the life to life. You start living with her. And it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's not the same. And it's funny because I'm watching this movie and I'm telling my wife, like, honey, did you know he sold his company for $3 billion? And she's like, no, it wasn't $3 billion. It was $1 billion. I'm like, honey, I know it was $3 billion. Then you look it up and you feel closer. There's no distance with anybody.
And it looks like we know how the business was done. And then someone tells you, well, honestly, he didn't buy the brand. I mean, it was a brand or a tequila company that used the name to build it up and they sell it. Which is what it is. And we are like,
which is a big industry right now, if you could succeed.
But we're thinking like, oh, he's so smart. He bought this. Like, no, he didn't.
Yeah. No, they keep knocking on his door and they're like, hey, bro,
dude, after this, it's money. And what are you going to say?
Let me fly you over there. You might like it, this, that. The same thing with an espresso. You know, I think it was the same concept that he wanted something fast and somebody already had something. And he was like, this is cool. Like, let's.
I mean, big corporations, they know where the money is and they're making money. And they keep doing money and they're a day.
They. Yeah, it took 2 years from my life.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Because they keep doing money. And all those companies, they got help from government or whatever, and the PPS loans and
the PPL.
PPL, right? And they keep making money and
that's the one I didn't understand. I didn't understand how they were paying people that didn't work. Like, the businesses kind of understand the PPL was kind of makes sense, but that unemployment of paying people more than what they were making, and then when everything disappeared and you had to go back to work, people were like, I'm not going to work now for less.
Yeah, the crack in the system again. Some people took advantage of it. Some companies took advantage of it. And people who doesn't know or didn't know get fucked. And it's always the same people making advantage and say people getting fucked.
Yeah.
So,
like the Donald Trump tax.
Oh, yeah.
I've used that system. It works.
But it's in that case, I was talking with someone. He didn't pay taxes, right? And now
he paid minimal.
And that's great. But for me, the amazing thing is that the IRS, by law, they're supposed to investigate or keep track on the president, on the taxes they paid and everything. And the most surprising thing is that the IRS didn't do that investigation through the last 4 years when he was on the government. Forget about before, when he was president.
Yeah.
If you don't pay taxes, my friend, the IRS will be cashing out from you.
Oh, yeah.
And they will freeze your account. Again, it's like, dude, people with money, they could do that. And he's not going to get fined. Nothing is going to happen. They find a way to not pay or pay the less they can. And, man, a regular Joe, it's paying whatever they have to pay. And at the end of the day, taxes will help to build better houses for people who need houses, better schools for people who need public school, roads, and
yeah, but there's a lot of corruption too. I think they said there was a $1 billion budget in California for homelessness.
Again, I should be a politician, my friend.
Wait a minute, what's going on? Like $1 billion budget for homelessness? What are they doing?
Nothing. But it's in any. I mean, they're their own race. They're like from another planet, man. They don't care. They keep making money and I don't
Yeah, of
know.
course.
I don't know what to say.
They just keep benefiting over.
And I'm not saying I'm not blaming on Republicans or Democrats. For me, them it's like the same people, both together. It doesn't matter who is in power, and doesn't matter what country are we talking.
Yeah,
it's same shit happened in Spain, and Venezuela, and Cuba, and Russia.
All over the world. All over the world.
Money.
You travel a lot. What are some of your favorite places to travel? What are the favorite places you like to visit?
Oh man,
what do you get excited about when you're like, because you got a trip coming up now?
Yeah, I like something. I do love exotic places, or if I never been in a place, I want to go there. For a while, I was super obsessed with the Asian culture, and I did Jakarta.
Really?
Yeah. It's something.
Like more Japanese?
More Japanese. And because they are a traditional culture, but they are also the most modern culture. And that clash, if you go to Tokyo, it's, wait a minute. So you and I were brothers, and last time we saw each other was 14 years. Yeah. And we finally meet, and we bow instead of hugging. We are like that kind of people. They would bow and don't touch. Bow, sorry.
Okay.
And but then it's like everything is about technology, and so that clash of...
I heard they have like a lot of vending machines and neon lights, and
it's like living in the future, right?
Yeah.
So for me, that clash of things was like, what? I love that.
Was there people speaking English? Was it easy to find people?
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
For them, it's not easy. The same way it's not easy for us because it's science. Yeah. For them to translate from science to the language. I have good friends from Japan, and man, I see how they struggle to learn the language, and it's not easy.
Yeah, because I was in China, Guangzhou and Shenzhen, and it was so far.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in a different planet. It wasn't even.
No,
it's not like, I'm in China. No, I was like, what's going on? And I there was like, I'd get in a taxi. I'd be like, Hilton.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh yeah. I'd be like, Hilton. No matter what. And then finally, I had a connection, and I was like, and they'd be like, Hilton. I was like, dude. I'm like,
yeah,
I said that, but it was so hard. It was so hard.
It's
in
difficult.
Hong Kong. It's different because
they're most used for foreign like tourism and everything.
Tourism, but like in the country,
the countryside.
That's how Japan is.
In Japan, I was on Osaka, and damn, it's like I spent the whole 9 months. Sí, Osaka está como al norte.
¿Pero aprendiste a hablar?
No, aprendí...
I was like, what?
No. Aprendí a contar, like, ich, ni, si.
Yeah.
Básico, intentar, like, salud, kompai. And I also learned the difference between kompai and konpei, which is, like, Japanese and Korean. And I started, like, catching up and trying to learn, and I'm very curious. But then, skebe means perf. I learned that.
Escape?
Escape.
I don't want to know how you learned that.
Escape.
we'll go off the air.
Exacto. Escape. Pero sí, Colombia, que hemos estado hablando de eso. Funny thing, the same year that I went to Colombia, or in the same kind of production, I did Brazil first and then Colombia. And I had big expectations with Brazil.
I think you're going to say big something else, but expectation.
It's like everyone tells you about Brazil and the party and everything.
Right.
And I went all over Brazil. I did Brasilia, Sao Paulo, Fortaleza, Recife, Rio de Janeiro. And I came back like,
It was okay.
Literally. I was like, well, I mean, beautiful, but nothing that spectacular.
Yeah.
I went to Colombia because of work with no expectations at all. And I came like...
Una chimba, como dicen.
Super...
Pero ¿qué fue tan...? La ciudad, la fiesta, la gente.
The beauty of the people.
La naturaleza, la gente.
The beauty of the people.
That makes sense.
It's super welcoming. always trying to make you feel comfortable and welcome and what you need and proud of. Let me show you.
Yeah.
Right? Let me show you how beautiful my country is, because I'm the same way with Basque Country, right? Every time someone asks me where you're from, I try to tell them all the good things, go here and there, and they were exactly the same. And I think has to be with all the suffering they had on the 80s and the bad rap. Narco, every time you said
90s,
Colombia,
90s.
80s, 90s, whatever it was.
80s was good.
Well, because it was hidden somewhere, right?
Yeah, 80s was good, yeah.
But my point is, like, they get bad reputation, right?
Yeah.
And you're tired of being attached to that.
Yeah.
So you want to show up. No, it's not that. It's secure. It's safe. It's this. It's that. So I had a great time, and people were super welcoming, and I'm dying to go back, and
And you're going back.
And I'm going back.
Going back.
I don't know when, February, but I'm going back.
That's good. And that trip you said is one of your projects.
It's one of the projects that I'm working. I'm on developing the show. It's an adventure show. It's something that I've been working for a long time. So I'm going to sip it.
Yeah.
No le pongamos sal.
Sí.
Pero...
No, Colombia es lindo. Colombia
es súper bonito.
Yo tú sabes las tres maravillas del Caribe, ¿no?
¿Que son Cuba?
Las tres maravillas del Caribe es un dominicano que no es negro, un puertorriqueño que no debe dinero y un cubano que no habla mierda. No existe. Esas son las tres maravillas. Y uno más, solamente uno más. ¿Cuál es el país más cerca del cielo? Uruguay, porque queda ahí al ladito de Argentina.
Fuck.
Okay,
ese te lo voy a robar.
Oh, you can. Pero mi punto es, hablando mierda, yo veo que Colombia, mire, tú sabes, bueno, hay gente que lo sabe y hay gente que no lo sabe. Cuba en su época era lo máximo. Música, rumba, cha-cha-cha, el tabaco, los casinos, qué sé yo qué sé. Para mí, yo voy a Colombia y yo digo, wow, man. Hoy en día yo pienso que Colombia es el Cuba de hace 100 años.
20, sí.
Ahora Colombia es el nuevo. Bueno, 100 años. Colombia
Sí, exacto.
Porque ahora es donde vienen muchas novelas, todos los news anchors colombianos, los productions, la música, la rumba, la gente, the energy, the people. Y tienes razón, when you go somewhere, people make the country awesome or shitty. No matter how nice it looks. But Colombia, the amount of production coming out of Colombia is insane.
No, it's almost, so first, I guess it's cheaper to the production, same with Mexico and Argentina, but then the quality of production, and also they work a lot. Yeah. That's another thing. We were doing La Vida Negra. 14, 16 hours on set working, and you're like, okay, we should stop, and you're trying to tell them, okay, I think 16 hours is enough. And they're like, no, just one more, because I think we could make it. It's like, dude, you don't have to. I'm telling you, and I'm your boss. So you
don't have to force it.
They keep working. They laburar, que le dicen ellos.
Yeah.
They keep working. They work a lot, and it's cheaper. So, but again, great quality, a lot of good people, and content creators and talented people. So, normal que se hagan cosas en Colombia. Y sí, creo que tienes razón que es el Cuba de los 20 de hace 100 años, ¿verdad?
Así lo veo yo.
Sí.
Así lo veo yo, porque yo me crié de Robertico, mire cómo era Cuba. Mire, en este año Cuba. Ahora estaba viendo un video de los 40s y era un fashion show. Balenciaga, Gucci, Chanel, Louis Vuitton. Era
el Miami.
Un fashion
todo
show.
El mundo
Olvida Miami.
Cuando el Miami se puso muy de moda.
En los 30, 40,
todo el mundo
Miami,
iba.
Pero Miami no existía.
Claro.
Y ahí, en ese 4-hour fashion show, exclusive to Paris, Havana, and Beverly Hills. Like mind-boggling. And now you go to Colombia. Y lo mismo, muchos países han crecido. Ahora yo estuve en la Ciudad de México como 6 meses, and I was like, man, there's so many nice areas, especialmente Polanco. I was like, fuck, this is beautiful. Hasta me sentí más, I felt more safe than, in Beverly Hills, it's really nice. So I think the whole world is getting nicer. But Colombia, like for entertainment industry, 100%. They're bulletproof right now.
Totally.
They're bulletproof, and they have like unlimited budgets and unlimited amounts of people that want to work, and unlimited beautiful women, unlimited. And then you talk about the women. Not only is it unlimited beautiful women, but they're passionate, loving, caring women. They're like, oh, papi, It's like, anyways, I got a friend of mine. I told you a million times. You don't understand. I've known this guy for 20 years, and to see him living life right now in Colombia, and to see how he was living here, it's a different person. I've never in my life seen somebody change so much.
Happiness.
He's going at the gym. He was at 315 pounds at one point.
Oh, wow.
And now I think he got down to like 235, and it's still going down.
Which shows that we don't need that much to be happy. We just need to be surrounded by
beauty or by happy people.
The things that makes you happy. I read today that Finland, it's for the 5th year in a row, the happiest country in the world. And the keys were like, they don't compare themselves with others.
Yeah.
One of the points, like they don't care. Second, they don't break the circle of trust in any way. And corruption, government is not corrupted. People working is not corrupted. You see something dirty and you don't complain. You just go and clean it your own.
You just do it, yeah.
And what was the other one? But anyway, they don't need much. They're not that luxury, but you don't need the iPhone.
Yeah.
They sold us the idea that we need it, but we don't need every year a new iPhone. Yeah. And we keep doing that. And because of that, we keep paying much. And that's why we're like only 2 payrolls away from shit.
Because they make debt and credit so easy.
So I guess when you're like, and that's my feeling every time that I go to Costa Rica surfing or Colombia, like I think, oh man, I see myself doing this. But then it's like, damn, no. Like I would do it. I love it.
But that's funny. That's a great point, because going back to my friend, before he traveled, he made this big money. And when he made this big money, he's all, I'm going to get a 5-bedroom house, large, an 85-inch screen TV, all the systems. I'm going to get a Range Rover.
Yes.
and then he said something else, and I was like, dude, that's the stupidest thing I've ever said. I heard you say, man. Do me a favor, bro. Spend 2 years traveling. Just spend 2 years traveling. And I felt bad because the first time he went to Indonesia and COVID hit.
Oh.
Y él se fue en business class a Indonesia. Cuando regresó, he had to get whatever ticket porque era fin de mundo in China Airway. Con la bolsita, like, he came back to my place. I was fine. But he had that mentality, like a Range Rover and big house and big this. Now he's just like, I'm into fitness. I'm into myself. He's getting tattoos. Like now he's just happy. He doesn't need to.
You don't need much.
You don't need much.
Wake up, surf, go to the beach, have fun with your friends.
Eat some good food. Hang out with people. Talk.
It's what it should be about, like being with friends and family and have fun. Because again, it's like, man, if not, we're trapped in this fantasy we live in.
The Matrix.
But we're trapped, man. We're totally trapped.
Oh, we're completely trapped. Yeah. And we paid to be trapped. Yeah. I forgot who talked about it, but somebody says these are today's modern prisons. Mm-hmm. Like they don't need
La jaula de oro.
They don't need slaves because we're enslaving ourselves. We're building our own jail, our own prison, and we don't want to leave it because it feels comfortable. Because I can decorate it however I want to decorate it, and it makes sense to me.
Yo cada vez que escucho a alguien decirme soy workaholic, no lo digo, no soy un imbécil, pero pienso, damn, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Because they said it as a badge of pride, and it's like, man, we're fucking slaves. We're working for them.
Yeah.
Someone is making a lot of money, and we're working, like we're driving 2 hours stuck in traffic to get to our prison, work 8 hours, come back another 2 hours. And then for
5 days a week. Yeah.
For what?
And
like for
stressing what? And leaving our family or leaving the chance of making a family. And then, you know, the worst thing is the best part of that person's day. You know what it is? taking a shit and checking their social media.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like, oh, this is so fucking... Yeah, that's the best part of their fucking day. Imagínate. There's people that live like this all the time. I had CJ. CJ's a OnlyFans girl, okay? Sexy. She takes all the pictures. I had her on the podcast. She has her own podcast. And I was like, why is OnlyFans? I mean, I get why it's so famous, you know? But why? But break it down. I want to get more detailed. She goes, look, OnlyFans for New York or for LA or Miami, these people like us, people in general, don't look at OnlyFans. We have beauty and women and sexiness.
Oh,
everywhere
it's
we
people
go.
from everywhere else.
It's countries that just people that can't leave their countries. It's Americans, but in the middle where they work that job at Walmart, they work 40, 50 hours away from home, and they want to come home to like something exotic, a message.
Pero sí sabes que internet es gratis.
Sí, yo sé, pero y se lo dije. No. Fue buena la conversación.
Blows my
Es que la
mind.
diferencia es cuando hay un tipo que está trabajando 40, 50 horas a la semana, está fuera de la familia, está aburrido, está gordo, está feo, está horrible, un borracho, y él hace membresía a un subscription, a un sistema de estos. La diferencia es que ellos mandan una foto con el nombre de él. Hola, friend. I hope you had a good day. Get some rest. It becomes tailored to each of their clients, and it's only one picture.
Amigos,
Pero hermano, 50.
should I open my own OnlyFans with a fan?
$50,000 estaba ganando esta vieja mensualmente, y ahora yo creo que mucho más. Mucho más. It's easy money, bro. ¿Por qué tú crees que le estoy pegando al gimnasio tanto?
Yo te hago de cámara. O sea, wow. Sí sé que hay gente haciendo dinero, pero se me escapa. Es una de esas cosas que se me escapa entiendo cómo hacen el dinero, pero no, o sea, yo no veo cómo monetizar eso yo.
Claro, uno tiene que tener algo. Por ejemplo, también en OnlyFans.
Tengo bonitas rodillas.
También tienen en OnlyFans, like if you want to be like a personal trainer or like, hey guys, what's up? And like, ladies.
Same thing. Man, how many people could tell you how to do abs? Really? And it's 1,000 of hundreds of people doing fitness, and they have a big following. But how they do money? Which is also tricky. There is, and I hate this, and don't hate me for that, but I hate the influencer word.
Yeah.
You do not influence anyone, to begin with.
Yeah.
Second, is a fantasy word. Because I do understand that you have a huge following or whatever, but in reality, how many people are making a living of it?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
For real. Like your friends, the OnlyFans, I get it, and he's making a lot of money, or she is making a lot of money. That's great. But I don't think it's so many people doing that much money doing fitness classes.
There's a lot of people doing it.
A lot?
Not a lot.
There is some doing money.
There's the people that are staying consistent. They're making money. There's people that are making.
You have to be consistent and been doing it for a while,
right.
like 3, 4, 5 years.
Let's use two different things. There's making money from it, and making a living from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
So
they sell you.
So everybody can make money from it.
Yeah.
You can talk to your local sponsor down the street, and
One thing is getting a helmet for free,
right.
which is great, or getting a few hundreds to do Thursday nights. I was doing that bike night, and I had like 3, 4 sponsors, like 200, 100. Exactly. You're making a few bucks, and at the end of the day, you're buying
but
drinks.
making a living from it.
Making a living for that? Are you crazy?
Very difficult. Yeah. It's very difficult.
Like, again, we're talking about.
But it's funny because I have a friend of mine. We used to bartend 20 years ago, and lately I've been looking at her pictures. I'm like, that's so cool. Look at that snowboarding. What? You're in Italy now? That's so cool. And then because I know her, I'm like, fucking good for her. Good for her. I'm proud of you. And I'm like, wait a minute. Wait.
This has to be paid somewhere.
Yeah. Where is this coming from? And I totally have the thought that she has an OnlyFans account. And it would make sense. If she had an OnlyFans account,
if you go through Instagram, I'm not criticizing anything. Like, you're free to do with your ass whatever you want. But you see all these people in Dubai. And all those places are beautiful, but expensive.
Yeah. Well, Dubai, when I went like 3-4 times before pandemic.
Yes.
It was fair.
You have to you have to take a plane.
16 hours.
How much is the plane?
You got to get first class. You got to get business class.
Even down there, you have to buy that ticket, buy whatever the week is in there. So you're not getting that. And then going to like all these models.
Well, the other thing with Dubai is I think in 2000, I'm just going to say 2018. In 2018, Dubai created a $50 or $150 million budget to fly influencers into Dubai to take pictures, hosting them, and doing. But
that's my point. You're getting the flight for free.
Yeah.
You're getting all that. That's crazy, but you're not getting paid. You're not making a living. You're going for free.
Yeah.
And you eat for free. You go to Dakota del Norte for free. That's great. And you take pictures, but you're not making money.
Right.
You're like traveling for free, which is great, but that's it. You're not making money. You're not making a living. And you're not influencing no one.
Which is still better than working 8-9 hours a day and giving your life away.
Yes.
Another study. I'll give you another study. Fun fact.
But again, we see that part of their life.
Yeah.
Than where you live.
Yeah. Yeah, I live in...
Again, I drive a Tesla. That's great. And then I live in a
I got
corner,
mad. I'm gonna,
en un rincón con puerta.
Yo me encabroné con José un día porque hicimos un evento en una mansión en Beverly Hills. Fue un evento de mi mujer and we were doing an art show en una mansión de Beverly Hills. Y José me consiguió un photographer. Mm-hmm. The pictures came out so bad, so bad. Estoy hablando de una mansión y estoy hablando como de 40 personas, 50 personas ahí.
Es difícil que salga mal.
Con fucking todo el mundo en trajes, fucking champagne. Cualquier come mierda con un teléfono toma una foto and it's like, wow. Bro, las fotos estaban tan mal que eso fue lo primero que dijo mi mujer. Mi mujer dijo, what the fuck is this? Hay gente en apartamentos in North Hollywood that take better, in a shitty apartment that take better fucking pictures. It was a disaster, bro. But that's the only time Jose that I was like, bro, parcero, ¿qué haces? Like, it was bad. Anyways, that's another. 90% of people, they did a study of people on their dying bed. Ya se van a morir. Ya fin. Ya tienen 80 y pico. Ya tienen a disease, heart disease, whatever. Yeah. What are your top biggest regrets? And the top two that stood out to me was not quitting my job on time. That was like number one. And number two, or backwards, was not telling the person in your life you love them. You know, let it be your mom, your kids, your wife, whatever. Not telling. But number one was I did not quit my job on that.
Totally. I'm telling you, these 2 years, I took the time to go through. This is what I did. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I do love what I do, but I think it has to be a smart way to not spend 16 hours on set or like, doesn't worth it. And I want to travel. I want to spend time with my friends and doing the things that I do love. Because again, 90% of the people will have those regrets. I read also about this guy who was, 55, and it's like, I'm retired and I always wanted to be a musician. So he started going to music school, did I think it was like 5 years. And then after that, piano. His dream was being a orchestra director.
Yeah.
So he ended up spending 9 years or whatever it was learning, and now he's a orchestra director.
That's amazing. That's good, right?
It's amazing, but a lot of people...
But they waited till 55 years old.
And also a lot of people...
And luckily he did it.
It's about time. It's putting the time. Probably he was talented. But it's like how many times we heard someone saying, it's too late, I'm too old, it's 40. It's like, dude, you still have another 40 years ahead of you.
Yeah.
Make the most of it. It's never too late to be happy, to go to Colombia and work from Colombia or lose weight? Or
I'll tell you a funny one. I read this like 15 years ago. It was a story about a guy that wrote a suicide letter to his family. And the letter was along the lines of, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I work hard, I have money saved, the girls don't like me, I can't date, blah 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 blah. Me voy para Mexico. I will spend my last days there and kill myself. Le pegó al perico, putas, fiestas. He had such a great time that weekend.
que escribió la segunda parte de la carta diciendo
que no regresó. They're like, I thought you were
me iba a matar, pero igual no,
Yeah, lo pasé tan rico, but that's... sí hay un problema en los Estados Unidos donde es difícil buscar amor o una relación o estar feliz. Yo no sé por qué. Aquí hay oportunidad de hacer dinero y to be whoever you want, pero es muy difícil para la gente buscar amor.
Es la jaula de oro de la que hablábamos. Yo vine aquí, o sea,
the golden cage.
The golden cage, yeah. It's I came by mistake. It wasn't like it was a dream of mine, but it was nothing that I was achievable for me. It's like out of my system, out of my league. But the U.S. is where things happen, especially within the entertainment industry, right? So for me to get to that point was impossible. Then the dream come true, and then you're here, and it's like, oh, great, and then you get trapped into that. I used to say the difference before I was planning to live in the U.S., I was in Miami, and the difference between Spain and the U.S. for me was back home or in Spain, in Basque countries, like we work for having a better living and a better life. And in the opposite, like trabajar para vivir o vivir para trabajar. And here, just like you live to work. That's all. And it's not good. We should be able to find that balance. And regarding the love, man, I'm single, so I cannot help you with that.
Yeah. No, and trust me, I have my children. I have a successful relationship. I have no complaints. But I see that a lot. I see a lot of people struggle with love. I see a lot of people struggle with relationships.
It's not easy.
And now I get it. It's different times. This is a new time. Like, I'll be honest, I've never been single during the Tinder times.
Yeah.
I've never been on fucking...
it's another thing that it's not helping.
And I see people that are like in their 30s and they're like, oh yeah, dude, I'm going to go on a date tonight. I'm like, really, dude? I'm like, what a fucking player. And they're like, no, bro, it's just Tinder. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah, just look, watch this. And I'm like, or whatever, Bumble or whatever these things are at. But I've never been, I know I sound old now, but I never partaked in that. I wasn't single during these phases.
But I think that's also the second part of our conversation before about being close with the stars of Hollywood.
Yeah.
The
access.
These make us think that we have a chance with this girl or this man. And in reality, many of us, or not my case, I'm not afraid of anything.
No.
But it's many times, in real life, how many times would you go to talk to that woman? Would you approach that woman in a bar for real? If it's just that, not...
Well, there was a time that you had to. You had to face that rejection.
Yes.
Now, no, why would you?
Exactly. You're not responsible. You're not accountability. So you just swipe in and it's not saying no. It's just you're just swiping and whatever happens.
You're just on your phone.
You don't have to take the risk of talk to the girl or the man or whatever, a koala. And the koala would say, no, you're not my type, or I'm dating someone. So you're not taking that risk. And it's easy to do that. That's one. Two, it's a window shopping. It's window shopping. It's all it is. So you're protected under the screen and you're just swiping.
No salespeople forcing you to make the purchase and you could just...
Man.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you have to dial the number.
Back in the day, you had
pick
to
up the phone.
You had to walk the streets, and where are we going? I don't know. I'm gonna, I think I smell something,
Yes.
that way. I hear music. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's go in there and let's see what's in there. And then whatever there was in there was in there.
And they don't let you in, and you have to find a way to get in. And if you're in, then it's like, okay, there is a group of girls. I need to find a way to talk with the one that I like. You have to be a hunter or whatever it was, right?
Yeah,
but you have to be creative on a way of approaching and being.
You had to be like, oh, excuse me, I'm lost. Can you draw me a map to your heart? Oh,
you have to be, yes. But yeah, you have to be funny, creative. You have to find a way to be, whatever. Now it's, you're writing.
La camisa, what's this?
Sí. Tenías que inventar. Y ahora you just type, and if you just don't feel it.
Ahora mandas un mensaje, lo mandas a 20 personas y que te responde.
Exactly. Same thing. And then if something goes wrong or you just pass it, it's like stop talking, ghosting, which is something totally new for me. The ghosting thing in LA, it's like, what? It's ghosting.
What do you mean ghosting?
When people don't reply to you.
When they just they go.
I didn't know that term when I was living in New York. It's totally a LA thing. Ghosting? What do you mean? Anyway.
Well, everybody ghosts everybody in LA. It's LA. It's the most flakiest. Yeah. And I stated this before. I like LA. I like it. I love California.
I too love California. That's why I'm living here. And
LA is cool,
Every place has good things, bad things. The ghosting is something that, be an adult, just say, hey, I'm not into you, or don't call me again. Whatever. It's not working.
Aquí nadie sabe decir no. Aquí sabe nadie. Yo tenía un socio, un hombre, and he was a hairstylist. He was a stylist. And bro, like cubano or azul, fucking rubio, women would book him all the time, and he would flake 99%. And he would flake like I knew some of the girls, they would do hair, and they're like, hey, I just texted so and so, and well, if he says he's coming. Last night he's coming. This morning, are you coming? I'm coming. Be there in 2 hours. Okay. 1 hour. Okay. 30 minutes. Are you sure you're gonna make it? Because I've been waiting all day. Yeah. The time. No more response, MIA, ghosting, and bro, this guy would make good money. It's just, I don't know, it's like the air or
it's
water.
It's a thing that blows my mind.
Yeah.
The ghosting thing is, I don't know what it is.
Y después la gente queja que no tiene dinero. Y después la gente dice like, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I should have showed up to that, man. She pays good, too. What the fuck? Y las mujeres también. Y lo interesante, if you think of the reverse psychology of the whole thing, is that the girls go, I wonder if I tipped him enough. I mean, Robert, I tipped him $100 last time. And I was like, no, I think you tipped him enough. I think it's just a him problem. But why would he do this? It's so strange. And they take it so personal. Now they have to like find the justification.
Yeah.
And if you would have told me, I would have been like, yeah, maybe you should double the tip or something.
En fin.
Imagínate, $100 de propina. Estaba cobrando como 250, 280 por pelo, y después le daban como de 40 a $100 de propina.
That's good
por
money.
Un par de horas.
Maybe that's why
he was good.
Well, maybe that's why he was like flaking on people.
No, but he's always broke too. So no. He was just irresponsible. Wow. He just has a talent. He's just irresponsible.
Damn.
Yeah. Quickly, how'd you get into motorcycles? What do you ride? How'd you get into motorcycles? Where did that start?
Start with my cousins. I grew up with my cousins. There are like 7 of them. Most of them, like 4 of them, older than me. And they were like riding all the time.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to do that. And I was 14 maybe. When I was like, I need to ride that. But I didn't know how to. Tenía una Rieju, que es viejísima. Enduro, Rieju, it's probably like Spaniard or European brand. They don't build those anymore. It's Bultaco, Rieju, those old ones. And it was a dirt bike or enduro style. And I couldn't even reach. But anyway, I just stole it from him. It was parked within the house, and I took it for a ride. And riding was good. What I didn't know was how to stop.
Yeah,
and also, it was totally switch. Is the shifter was on the right side.
On the feet?
Yeah. It was totally the opposite.
And then the left was the
and it was
the brake.
Yeah,
back
on the
brake.
other side, yeah. So
Where was the clutch? So I guess the clutch was on the left.
Yeah, it was, and it's still there's bikes. I saw a few bikes now that I'm riding vintage bikes that are built that way. So that's how I started. And
how'd you stop?
Crashing.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then I get a big beat up. Like, cool that you did that. He beat me up, and I'll teach you now. And now I'm riding a Harley 2017 Softail Harley Davidson. That's one that I have. I have a Honda CB 500 1971, and that's it. And I'm planning to buy a dirt bike. It's something that I want to keep doing it. Like, that's how I started, and I like the feeling. And now I'm renting. If I want to go, just rent the whole equipment.
Who do you rent with?
I go out with, VVMC, which is the vintage, Venice Vintage Motorcycle Club. But then from that group, there is a lot of people doing
personal rentals and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do. This weekend do dirt bike, or this other weekend just classes on always trying to learn and improve motorcycle, and always trying to find new people to ride with. But little by little, you're making your own tribe,
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, you've done film and entertainment, all this stuff. Have you ever done any film and entertainment with motorcycles? You ever done a collab?
That's what I'm aiming to.
Should we? Yeah.
No, but through the pandemic, a friend of a friend called me, and she offered me something that I was like, wait, what?
Your eyes are like...
I pick up the phone and told my manager, I do not mind how much they pay.
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is yes. Please, yes. So NASA stopped traveling and doing the program, because it was expensive.
SpaceX knocked them out of the
water. No one cares. And now with Elon Musk, they came again somehow into the game. So PBS has this idea of doing a show of following for a year, 1 year with a pilot, how to become a pilot on the NASA, all the training they do, the whole thing. So the idea is like, we are looking for someone who does speak English, Spanish, who is like a thrill seeker, could fly planes. I was taking my hours,
You're like,
can ride motorcycles.
Yo.
So they called me and it's like, hey, a producer told me that you're the guy. We're considering you. It's 3 other guys, and we don't know if it's going to happen. But just so you know, would you be able to do it? You have to fly down to Cabo Cañaveral in Florida. And I was like, what? It's like, I always wanted to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
Of course. And then through the pandemic, I opened up things that I really want to do. I'm a thrill seeker. I do like riding motorcycles. I'm taking my classes on the plane. I'm surfing. I'm doing this, like skydiving. Has to be a way to do adventure shows, and I am trying. That's what I'm doing now. I'm looking for the crack in the system to just do entertainment, but just adventure shows. I just finished a show. We did Guatemala, Mexico. It's an adventure. It's for a discovery, but I'm aiming into. That's what I want to do. I want to keep doing my hobbies and things that I love, and attach those with TV. That's it.
That's fucking amazing.
And man, that's a dream. It's like, imagine racing cars and motorcycles and flying. And
that's the whole
point.
You want to ride boundless.
Yeah.
You want to ride boundless.
Yep. Yeah. And so that's the idea. That's what I would, comedy, always, I look at things from that point of view.
Comedy, you've done comedy productions and TV shows, but have you ever done like stand-up comedy?
Well, I did a stand-up, not... it's overcrowded. Everyone is doing a stand-up, and I don't know if it's my thing. But I try to do whatever I do with that twist of comedy. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's worth it to see at things with a smile always, instead of being negative. Or I think always, even politics, or I do care and I'm into that, but I try to see at those things through that prisma. Same with the pandemic. I'm optimistic by nature.
Yeah. And then I heard it was for the first time that I heard it, and I was like, oh, that makes so much fucking sense. And it was, for me, it's like, I've ridden a motorcycle in France and in Italy, but I want to do more riding in Europe because it's all fucking windy,
It's twisted. And
it's twisted, and I love that.
The scenery, it's amazing.
But it's funny because a lot of European people, like I have a few motorcycles, and I started putting on rider share and all this stuff, and I'm meeting these people, and I'm like, where are you from? Europe, and this, that. Oh, but the riding and the twisties are like, when you live with the twisties, this is what I was told. Do you agree with this? You get tired of it. In America, you have these long, straight roads, just whatever bike you're riding, and then you'll go into like an hour of like,
yes. And it's
true?
totally true. Anywhere you go in Europe, any country, it's carreteras secundarias, which is that little road that are, back in the day, was the only way to get from point A to point B. I played music and I was all time in a van going through those roads, and it's beautiful, the beach. Imagine going through a twisty road like the PCH, but by the beach or the mountains, and then France, you have Los Pirineos, and then France all the way to Italy. But you ride motorcycles, and that's great once in a while. But imagine all the time being on the clutch, and man, that's a lot. So I totally get the idea of the freedom of
open road,
the mountains, and you can go on the throttle and feel the speed on you without being worried of another twist, another one, and another one. You can go to the canyons and make it 45 minutes of that, but not the whole. But not the whole thing.
Yeah, not 4 hours, 5 hours.
We were on a van, on a car, and again, we were young, stupid, and drunk all the time. So we played on Interlaken in Switzerland, and then all of a sudden, you get paid, get wasted, keep going, and then look at the watch. It's like, I think we have to be on the next town 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
So we better go. And you're driving on those roads all, you're like hungover and it's twisted and you get tired. Like, oh, fuck, man.
Yeah.
So imagine that on the motorcycle all the time. So it's fun.
Yeah.
For, if you plan.
Yeah, donde equipo had cruise control.
Exactly. And again, and for us, going to take a trip, 15 days, go from Spain to, north of Spain, Basque Country, Pyrenees, south of France, all the way to Florence in Italy, go down. That's great. 15 days, beautiful. Yeah. And then we come back to the open road.
Right.
But, also, you always want what you don't have, right?
Claro.
So that's
claro.
The nature.
Es cuando uno vive al lado de la playa.
Exacto.
Nunca va a la playa. Y después cuando se muda, fuck, extraño la playa.
Yeah.
And then another question. What was your, from all the TV productions and acting and television, what has been your favorite project that you've done? You mentioned El Capo before we started. I was a big fan of that show. But what was your favorite project to work on?
Making it,
or being part of, or being in it.
Everything has something totally new, and I always try to enjoy and have fun and learn.
Yeah.
The last thing was working for Facebook, doing something that I never done, and I wasn't sure if I could have done it because it's totally new for me. And then we created a group of so different, Cubano, Venezolano, Mexicano. Everyone was from a different dad and mom, and none of us has done that before. It was like a trivia comedy dash show. Yeah. And it was fun and I love it because, one, I created a new family, which is great. I created a new thing, and it also pushed me to the limit in a very uncomfortable situation. You know, you tend to do things that you know and you're comfortable with. And I love
What
to
was
push.
it? What was it?
It was called Confetti. So Facebook, which I didn't know, has this Facebook
That was the
Watch.
game show?
It's a game show. It was a game show.
I think I saw.
Yeah, it was super famous. We were at some point the #1 show on Facebook, and through the company they were telling us like ratings, and it was a live show, and
It was a live stream show.
it was a live stream show on Facebook Watch. I was doing Mexican version, Confetti Mexico, and Forbes did like twice or three times like an article of the show. We have 1.7 million people watching the show every day, 50 million people followers on the group.
Yeah, I remember
was
this. Like 4 or 5 years ago.
No, it was 2018, 19. It's like 3 or...
Four
anyway,
years ago.
yeah.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Estamos en el 23.
Exacto, tienes razón. And it was...
Oh, es que te perdiste los 2 años.
Sí, 2 años que me han robado. Sí. Y fue súper divertido, gente nueva que no conocía en un ambiente, en un género que no conocía.
Sí.
And I always love to, be pushed to that, out of the boundaries that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
And love it.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good project. I remember seeing that. I remember when it started, and you're right, it had millions and millions of viewers.
It was insane.
No me di cuenta, porque como estoy en los Estados Unidos, no me di cuenta que lo estaban haciendo en diferentes idiomas casi en el mismo tiempo.
Yeah.
But
it was super fun. It was also helped me to understand other parts of the business that I never pay attention to. The streaming is, a new word. Not that I'm
Back
into
then.
that. Yeah.
Now it's
but at the end of the day, it's the same. El mismo perro, diferente collar.
Claro.
It's the same business.
No, es completamente diferente.
You create, from my point of view, doesn't matter if it's theater, circus, film, streaming. I'm storytelling things.
Right, but the difference is that if I was streaming, because everybody's like, Robbie, you got to start streaming. If you stream, it's more interactive. If you stream, you can have the questions right here. Ask Lorenzo this. Roberto, what do you think? Like, it's a different interaction.
Again, from my point of view, that's something that's something that maybe the software people has to be worried about, and that's great. But for me, it's like
you got to show up, and that's it.
1, 2. If you're not entertaining enough, people will not see it.
Right.
So, and that's the whole point is, it was, that show has different versions.
Yeah.
The American version, the Canadian version, the Mexican version, they franchises to Indonesia, England, Spain. Ours work. It was a version of it filmed at 6. They had 18,000 people watching the show. We were doing mine. It's like 1.2 million people. It was the same show-ish. Like, I didn't copy the show. I developed my own show. I create my own environment, my own world. And it's like, it has to be entertaining. It has to be trivia. It's trivia. Okay, perfect.
Totally, yeah.
But I don't want people to feel dumb to begin with. So not to trivia about things that are complicated.
That's right. It was live streaming interactive questions.
Yes.
And then you got to vote.
Yes.
I remember this.
And you could vote, you could play with teams, but I made it in a way that I even created a fake country.
Teams. What interesting.
I created, one of the shows was about this nation that I created, Confettitonia. The show was named Confetti, and I created Confettitonia. I did the los estatutos del país, to the point that all of a sudden on the groups, on Facebook, the followers, they were like creating their own, like, I want to be the ambassador of Confettitonia in this part of Mexico.
Did you buy it on the multiverse? Or the multiverse?
No, on the
metaverse, yeah.
No.
You should create.
I had a flag. I created the flag, the emblem, the everything. But it was...
No sería mala idea.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was 50 million people on the group. Like, I'm part of the Confettitonia. I'm going to swear under the Constitution. I created the Constitution. It's like, and people were sending videos constantly. It was crazy, sending videos nonstop of people swearing the Constitution. My point is, like, it was entertaining. Yeah. And people were playing. And if you get eliminated on question number 3, was 10 questions. Like, I want you to keep watching the show.
Yeah. And the longer you stay in, the better.
Exactly. It was like, yeah. So, that's and awesome. I learned a lot. But again, it was, for me, it's the same. It has to be entertained. It has to be funny. And it has to be, it's not about, that's why I don't want to be in that part of the table where the software or the sausage is made.
Yeah.
I want to be in this side.
No, it makes 100% sense. This is the first time I've been in front of camera or do anything. You know, I started with just the podcast, just audio. After 30, 40 episodes, people are like, dude, do video. Now I'm doing the video, and then the next step is probably going to be like multi-cameras. Yeah. You know, because I think that'd be better. This is fine. You know, I hope everybody watching feels like they're sitting at the end of the table watching this conversation. But, Hermano, I think I asked all my questions. Acting career. Your favorite role project, your motorcycles, and travel. I think we got it all, man.
Ya estamos. Luego al final, en edición, vamos a poner aquí un banner con mi teléfono y mis medidas para todas las mujeres que sean solteras.
Why not? Stats. En lo dijiste, lo está grabado. Single, 100%, okay? Let me see which other one I have. Wait. Dale, hermanito. Gracias por estar en el podcast.
Gracias,
we'll do this again. Suerte en el viaje que tienes el mes que viene. Suerte con el viaje que tienes el mes que viene. Y ahí estamos en contacto.
Same. Listo, Thank you for having me.